Owen, how's practice today?
Good, a lot of juice. Obviously, tough loss of the day, but we're moved on from that on to UIW with a lot of energy today. A good day.
How would you assess the overall morale of the locker room?
Yeah, like I said, we're moved on from it. Every competitor hates losing. That was the group we hate losing the other day. But we're past that on to UIW, like I said.
Do you draw from the experience of last year at all, going through some tough times earlier in the season and knowing how to rebound? How does that help you now?
Yeah, I just think anything in life, good, bad, whatever it is. I think we moved on from that. We really showed that today at practice, a lot of energy. So, like you said, those times definitely helped for us, but we're on to UIW this week and ready for them.
What are the biggest things you have to accomplish to make sure this year kind of has a similar turnaround?
Yeah, I just think it's putting that stuff past us, working on doing our job as an offense. Our part of the triangle is running the football, so doing that to our best ability will really lead to that for sure.
Do you make an effort to block out a lot of the outside criticism? Do you see a lot of that? How do you engage with that process?
Yeah, well, I try not to engage with it. Stay off whatever social media, especially during the season. And yeah, just kind of have my own way of doing that, whatever it might be.
Owen, how would you assess, I guess, the first two games from a passing standpoint, I guess, with the accuracy and the percentage of completion?
Yeah, I just think the percentage-wise is not where we want to be. I think we're running the ball really, really well. So I think when those passing downs come, we need to execute more, and that's just so it starts with me, timing, rhythm, choice of where I'm throwing the ball. So whatever it might be, it starts with me. I can be better in that aspect of it, but. Like I said, we're on UIW and ready for that, and hopefully the numbers improve.
It looked like in week 2 you guys were a little bit more aggressive going down the field than in week 1. Was that just how the matchup what the defense gave you guys?
Yeah, exactly. That first week, A&M, they did a bunch of junk up front, so we knew running the ball would be the best counter to that. It's just all based on game plans.
Yeah.
So, like you said, we were trying to attack the outside lanes against Texas State, and that didn't work to how we wanted it to. So. We switched up a little bit in the second half and went with it and found some success there.
You found the opportunity to create some positive yardage with your legs in this game. Is that a point of emphasis or just something that you take it when it's there?
Yeah, just take it when I'm there. Take it when it's there. It starts with on those drop back passes going through my reads and continuing to climb in the pocket, and if the running lane opens up, just go ahead and run.
Coach Traylor was explaining to us yesterday, I guess there were a couple situations in this game where, because of the way Texas State was playing coverage, some of those fade routes between you and the receivers didn't connect. Can you kind of take us through sort of what happened there? It seemed like the guys were trying to find the ball at times.
Yeah, so I think we started with our fade routes. We have a certain landmark when those guys the receivers are supposed to look for the ball, and it made it hard on us because the corners would play outside leverage, and we liked on those fade routes release outside, so the timing would get jacked up. So a little bit was on me. We have different RPOs where I can throw those fades or hand the ball off. So. There were maybe a few that I could have just handed off, but other than that, we adjusted later in the second half, and yeah.
When you have some drops that hurt you in the game, how do you kind of react to that? Do you talk to the guys, or do you just let it go, or how do you approach it?
Yeah, I mean, I tell them to keep their head up. They know it though. I mean, I'm gonna miss a throw. They're gonna drop passes. It's just part of the game. You have to move on. So that's really my biggest message to them. I don't want to overreact about it too much because those players are so great. They're here for a reason. So.
You guys were aggressive on 4th down in this game, and Coach Traylor said we might see a decent amount of that. How is it different running offense when in a lot of cases you'll have 4 downs to work with?
Yeah, especially on 3rd down, knowing you'll have 2 downs to work with. So Coach Berg does a great job, letting me know that information, knowing I can check the ball down on 3rd and long, and knowing, we'll have another opportunity on 4th down to go for it. So it's been great. Obviously, 4 downs to get a first down is very, very nice.
Oh, and what went into, we saw you use your feet a little bit more this week. What went into that decision?
Yeah, like I said, it was just drop back passes going through my reads and continue to work up in the pocket. If those guys would run with the routes, I'd climb up and go make a play with my feet if I had to. So it's really just that.
You talked about this a little bit after the game, but in recent years, UTSA has been known as a team that, last 2 minutes game on the line always kind of comes through. What do you see from Saturday and just from those situations in general that you guys can build on?
Yeah, well, I think going into the half, it was kind of a 2-minute drill there. The middle 8 was huge for us. We did really good on offense, scored a touchdown going into half there. And then, looking back at it at the end of the game, obviously didn't execute the way we wanted to. There were a couple plays, a couple decisions I want back from that, but that's all comes down to execution. So we have to continue to work that. That's something we work every day in practice. So it's just continue to grow from that, continue to learn from that.
What is it about this team and your culture that you guys always seem to be able to persevere when things get tough?
Yeah, I think it's, my first thing that pops in my head is our E plus R equals O mindset. Is our event plus response equals our outcome. So whatever the event is, this one happened to be a loss this past Saturday. So our response today was having a great week of practice, and we'll see, what that leads to come Saturday.
And what do you see out of UIW?
Yeah, really good team. They run a more simple defense, but they run it really well. Obviously, UIW's been a great FCF program, good powerhouse, obviously in San Antonio, so there'll be a good amount of people there. But a lot of respect for that program.
Thanks,
Thanks, Owen. Appreciate
Did
it.
you get to